You guys, we just recorded 4 videos. 4, so you can't say that we don't love you.
Hips and body. From the start, there was no limit to you, and I'm catching feelings, baby.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by this title, we're gonna get into part 2 of the reasons, or what? Part 2 of getting out of the military and what they don't tell you. So if you're interested, make sure you stick around. I have a special guest with me today. My friend. I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Hello, y'all. So my name is Asia, like the continent, and
And I'm Ocean, like the water.
So I'm a full-time YouTuber. My channel is AsiasJourney, and I also am a full-time entrepreneur, and I'm also a veteran. So
yeah, me and Asia.
Yes.
I have to get to know her as Asia.
And I keep wanting to call you Long.
And we're not in anymore. Me and Asia met while we were stationed at Fort Riley in Kansas. We have been in the trenches literally together, in the desert literally together. I didn't get the chance to deploy. She did, so I look up to her in that aspect. I didn't finish my contract. She went through a whole one. I went through a whole 2.
Well, no, 1.5.
1.5.
The second one, so yeah.
We got some real tea about this stuff, and though we don't look like it, though we don't look like our struggle,
we done been through it, y'all.
I'm talking about peeing in the field.
having to poop outside.
For those of you who don't know, I served in the military for 2 years. I just got out in 2019, and I am medically discharged honorably in Ewing. Oh shit.
I served for 5 years before I was also medically discharged.
So we are 2 beautiful black queens who served in the military. I know we don't look like it, but we are. So what we're gonna get into, we're gonna talk a little bit about our part 2 of the reasons, the things of getting out of the military that we didn't really get the chance to know. Nobody told us. We're doing this so you know. If you haven't already, go watch part 1 on her YouTube. Go watch part 1
before you watch part 2.
Yeah, part 3 is therapy. Therapy is so important when you're transitioning out of the military.
So I kind of just did everything on my own. Like, as far as therapy, I'm very open when it comes to therapy. I think therapy is something that a lot of people need, and a lot of people don't. What's the word I'm looking for? I think it's important, or they don't feel like they need it, but in reality they do. So I'm the type of person, when it came to therapy, I just went to the VA and I set all my appointments that I needed for therapy, and I pretty much just went from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think therapy is so important for the simple fact that when you're transitioning out of the military, it is a culture shock. Just like it was a culture shock to go to the military and basic training and everything. It is so crazy to go out and have to deal with, out and realize that everybody's not on go like you. Like all the time, that's what we're taught. We're taught to hurry up and wait, or we're put in situations where you are extremely uncomfortable. So now you're transitioning back into a world where you feel out of place and you feel like life isn't what you thought it was. And oftentimes like soldiers like Asia who went straight after high school, it struggles because like you never been an adult in the real world. So, and then for me, I was adult for a little bit and then, you know, went to the military. So it's definitely a shock, and I think therapy is important in any part of life, but especially that one. And as soldiers, we're taught like, tough it out, keep going, keep pushing. That is not the case. Like, your mental is so important.
So important. Pretty much having a plan is important. Also when it comes to getting out. A lot of people that get out, they don't have a plan, and that's what kind of, I feel like, makes it 10 times harder when you just get out and you're just thrown into the world and you don't know what to do. For me, for an example, I had started my business, and I already knew that I wanted to start a business before I got out. So I started like planning you know, I started planning around my business and how life was going to be outside the military. So kind of just having an idea of what you're going to do before you get out, that is very important. So you don't get out and just be looking like a chicken with your head cut off.
Right. Like, what the hell are we doing? Part of having a plan when you get out is understanding that you're not going to have it all together like immediately. And sometimes plans fall through. So have a plan A, B, C, line up
F, G.
A lot of people start businesses. The good thing about being a veteran who was service-connected injured is, of course, we get compensated for those injuries. So put that money to use. Put it in a place that you really can start to see the revenue turn over. You know, hop into your dreams and live a life where you're not like in a circumstance where you're suffering in order to live. You know, live so that you don't have to suffer. I opened a business too, but I ended up closing it down because I felt like it wasn't a part of my dream. And if you haven't watched that video, go watch that video. The plug. If anything, make sure you have your paperwork in order when you get out.
Yes.
The stuff that they tell you in out processing about having your DD-214, like, have it. Make copies of it. Make like 30 copies of it. Give 2 to your mama. Give 2 to your daddy if they're divorced. Give 1 to your husband's spouse, whoever, and you know, just keep a stack. And I personally, I like to keep a file on my phone, just in the event, like especially when I'm trying to get a discount at a store. I'll be like, hey, here go my DD-214.
Right.
So keep your paperwork in order and make sure that you have copies of everything, your medical records. I think we had a tip on that, but I'm not sure. So you gotta go to part 1 to watch it and find out. But yeah, keep your paperwork in order.
To touch on paperwork as well, we're not just talking only about like your D-214 and like the stuff that, you know, you had when you were active. We're talking about even that stuff from basic training, because I literally in my closet have a big stack of paperwork, and it's stuff from even basic training, AIT and stuff like that. And for me, I had, while I was in, I received my top secret clearance. So it was important when it came to finding a job, you know, even in the civilian world, that they know that I do have that type of clearance. So having that paperwork, you know, kind of just backs everything up. And it's just beneficial when you're trying to get a job in the civilian world.
And here's a bonus tip to go along with what you just said, because I just thought about this. Make sure you take your military transcript to educational services, so that way they can see what education that it took for you to be in your MOS and apply it to your resume to see what transfers over. You can get those transferred to educational credits. You can get it transferred to professional development to put on your resume, so we can go ahead and line that job up. But oftentimes people get out of the military and don't know what to do, and I think that's okay too. I think it's okay to use your built up vacation time, or, you know, whatever it's called, PTO, to like take some time to figure out you. Right. It's hard, especially like if you got family, if you got kids and stuff like that. You want to buy a house. That's a whole nother topic. If you like this content, if you like content like this, stick around with us, because all of October is military month. We taking over, and we're gonna give you our perspective, the real juicy tea about what life is and what life was in the military for us. And we're gonna have a video about the myths of the military, and then we also have a video coming about the being a Black woman in the military, and how those two things will get you the information that you need if you haven't been to the military yet. So if you're a veteran, thank you guys for watching. My camera's about to die, but we got this content. Yay! Bye. Let's get carried away. Stop making a big deal out of the little things, cause I got big deals and I got little things. Got everything asking for, but you